Carlton, and junior Sarah Graves out due to illness, all of them dealing with the flu. And also Texas announcing transfer from Michigan, Layla Filia will redshirt this year, so some changes tonight.
Yeah, I think Moore has been in and out of the lineup for Texas on the season with some tendonitis issues. Texas, though, shorthanded. A bench that has been a big contributor all season will have to step up, but with not quite as many players.
We are underway from the Moody Center. Texas undefeated in this arena on the year 10-0. And immediately an offensive foul in the opening moments of this contest. Starting lineup for the Longhorns, Jakalenga Wenentanda making her second consecutive start and the 5th of her career in place of Aaliyah Moore.
When you see Rory Harmon making a defensive impact immediately, that is her job out there as point guard. You know, she starts it off for Texas with that tough defense.
Harmon, the two-time All-American, comes up short. Texas's offense, the best of the Vic Schaefer era this season, averaging 86 points per contest, 7th highest scoring team in the nation. Here's Grace Slaughter, the sophomore. Bobbled it for a moment. Ashton Judd, Harmon in her face. Judd bouncing around and out. Offensive board scooped up and in by Lanaya Randall. Terrific scorer who transferred over from Southern Illinois.
I like the fact that Randall at 5'11" is not afraid to play on the interior. She will be physical and battle with Texas in the paint.
That bucket in the paint, but Missouri loves to shoot it from the outside. One of the top three-point shooting teams in the SEC. Taylor Jones, and there's Texas's bread and butter. Taylor Jones in the paint.
And here's Texas's first line of defense, which is their full court defense right there. That's what they practice every single day, picking up full court. That inside game from Taylor Jones has really come on strong now for them this season.
Jones, the SEC Player of the Week, had a monster performance against Tennessee. Double-double against the Lady Vols in the Texas win. Here is Slaughter. Shot clock dips down to 5. Slaughter trying to slice through the paint and travel. Vic Schaefer in charge of the Longhorns, his 5th season here in Austin, and made it to the Elite 8 in 3 out of his previous 4 years on the 40 acres. High expectations for this year's club. 6-1 so far in SEC play. Every contest a battle. Narrow wins over Ole Miss and Tennessee the last few contests. Booker with the miss. Missouri back the other way. Avery Kroenke.
Texas will deny every pass defensively. A lot of pressure on the ball.
Ashton Judd buries it. She had 14 points in the win against Mississippi State. They have some shooters on this Missouri team that's shown flashes throughout the year.
It's a good sign that Judd is stepping up here early. I think it's important for her to be able to not get too rushed today, contribute offensively.
Wenentanda trying to find some room, spinning underneath, and the junior gets it done.
Yeah, 2 consecutive plays where Wenentanda has made the right decision. An assist on the play to Taylor Jones, and then that shot right there.
Texas applying the pressure, nearly forced the turnover.
Well, and it will be ball handling by committee for Missouri today. They like to switch up who brings the ball up. Kroenke, 21 right now, usually handles the ball as a point guard, but also Slaughter.
Slaughter pulls up with Harmon right next to her, the bounce and the drop.
That's a shooter's touch for you.
Now keep in mind, the last time Missouri and Robin Pinchton beat a top 5 team, that team was coached by Vic Schaefer, Mississippi State, back in 2019. Both coaches are well aware of that stat. And Texas turns it over. Robin Pinchton, 3rd among active SEC coaches in all-time wins. When we went to talk to her and shoot around, before we could say anything, that was the first thing out of her mouth. You know, I beat Vic back in 2019. And Vic Schaefer well aware of that as well.
Well, and he had
Texas
a lot of
ball, 5 seconds.
Yeah, Vic Schaefer had some good words for Coach Pington as well. He talked about how tough it is for him and his teams to play against hers because they're so physical and prepared when they play. So despite their record and their struggles sometimes to get wins, this is a team for Missouri that is really cohesive, and they always have great attitudes. You wouldn't know that that was just their first win on Sunday in conference.
Had some close losses. Again, they lead the SEC in three-point percentage. Really experienced sophomore group. Last year, their freshmen played more minutes than any other freshman class among all power conference schools in the country. So even though there's a load of underclassmen on the squad, plenty of minutes behind them. Taylor Jones, a little too strong. Back the other way, leading the charge. Kroenke drops it down low to Randall. Malaya Randall busy underneath in the paint.
And that's the thing with Randall is they invert her, so she's truly a three-player, but at 5'11", they put her down low, and it's a tough matchup because she's so physical and quick.
She was a top 50 scorer in the nation last year, number 4 for Missouri. Lori Harmon finds a cutting Taylor Jones. Taylor Jones had more offensive rebounds against Tennessee than the entire Lady Vols team. She has been on a tear.
Yeah, she had 9 offensive rebounds in that game against Tennessee a week ago.
Slaughter over Shea Holly. And this Missouri offense feeling it early. 5 for their last 5 from the field.
See that left-handed shot by Slaughter. That was the same shot she hit, similar shot that she hit to win the game.
Former all-SEC freshman team member. And a foul down low. Missouri out to the early 4-point lead.
Robin Pington talked about the fact that Grace Slaughter, when she was in high school, broke her right collarbone and had to learn how to use her left hand, and that's why she has gotten to be so good shooting left-handed, and she's comfortable. She said, I didn't even call a timeout on that play when they won the game and had that last-second shot because I had faith in my team and that shot that Grace Slaughter has going to her left.
And she said on that buzzer beater, if she would have taken it with her right hand, I would have been worried. Her head coach, Robin Pington, said that. I said, isn't she right-handed? She said, yes, technically, but she's so good with her left. And we saw that at the end of that game and early here in Austin.
And in the game for Missouri right now, Abby Schreck, number 23. She is a sharp shooter, so whoever Texas has guarding her needs to keep their eye on her.
Nia Wilson, speedy transfer from New Mexico. Angelique Gallicolandi only played 8 games a year ago, finally healthy this year. It's gone the entire way. Randall with the shot clock at 5, trying to spin around Booker and just could not get it to go. Madison Booker with strong D. Harmon surveying the defense, pulls up, got caught midair. And a whistle, timeout here in Austin with Missouri up by 3. You're watching SEC Women's Basketball presented by Regions Bank, official bank of the SEC. So there's your early practice, Lanaya. Thanks for letting us throw the glasses on. You get a first-hand look.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that unless you've been to a shoot-around or practices, how much you realize how much goes into the details of how you guard every single play. Every single out-of-bounds play is talked about. How you match up in a zone, what are you going to do? Just like that case, Mizzou traps in the corner, gets a steal.
Oh, they were absolutely waiting for Taylor Jones on that one. Texas turnover. With just over 4 to go in the first quarter. Slaughter goes glass. Missouri red hot to open the contest.
And they're shooting the ball very well right now. And the thing is, even though they have 3 turnovers, Mizzou hasn't given Texas points off of turnovers. So controlling the pace of the game.
None of the points have come off threes, which is really Missouri's bread and butter. Taylor Jones, meanwhile, answers for the Longhorns.
Jones has been so good in the paint for Texas, and that is something she's been able to do in spurts at times over the last few years for Texas, and then before for Oregon State. Her injuries have kept her off the floor as much as she'd like to be.
Jones has all but 2 of Texas's first 9 points. Here is Randall. Holly cut her off at the pass and just stolen away by Shea Holly, the veteran. Harmon back the other way. Driving baseline, gets some room, comes up short when Ntanda pulls down and then turns it over. Randall checks for some help, outnumbered on the run, throws it up anyway, and one. Lanaya Randall. That's about a 1-on-3.
And that's the thing with Lanaya Randall is she can post up down low, or she can get the ball and handle in transition. At 5'11", comfortable doing this and just able to connect on this, make it an N1, as you said. Booker took a charge a couple games ago against Tennessee, tried to take one there.
This is a player who had 4 30-point games last year. Averaged nearly 20 points per contest with Southern Illinois. And completes the three-point play.
Randall adds a level of grit to this team, I think, that is so needed. Mizzou is known to be a very nice team, and sometimes I think you have to be a little ornery to play and compete, and certainly Randall's got some orneriness and grit to her game.
Especially against a feisty defensive team like Texas. As Vic Schaefer told us before the game, he loves to play in bloodbaths when the referees put the whistle away and it gets real physical. It's his style of ball. There's Abby Schreck, hassled by Holly.
Again, great pressure by Texas. They just don't make anything easy.
Randall calling for help.
Switch.
Shot clock under 10. Good look from Judd. Holly got in her way. Wide open was Abby Schreck. Clanks it off the iron. Going to the floor for it. Jump ball, possession arrow, Texas.
A terrific hustle by Wilson right there on the offensive boards. Schreck had a good look. That was good offense, I thought. And one of the things I'd like to see Mizzou do more often is go backdoor. And that was almost accidental that Judd went backdoor on that play. But you got to beat pressure by going backdoor against their pressure.
Well, you and I were talking before the game, and you thought maybe this could be a little bit of a trap game for Texas coming into tonight. A 1-6 Missouri team in SEC play. Texas 6-1 in the conference. Galakalandi, another and one, as Vic Schaefer discussing the situation with the officials.
Well, here's the reason why this could be a trap game is because you have a motivated Mizzou game coming in on the road feeling good about themselves. They're executing well here early on. Texas, after that tremendous week, those 3 teams they played, let's see, who did they play? They played at South Carolina, struggled, then they went and played away, got a win, and then they had that game against Maryland, Tennessee, and Ole Miss. 3 great wins in a row, but that takes a lot of energy when you're on the road that much and back in class. And then you come back against a team that maybe you should win against on paper. That can lead to a trap game.
Well, Texas, one of the best rebounding teams in the nation, getting out rebounded. Is that strictly due to effort and hustle?
Well, they're just, right now, I think Mizzou is double teaming the post. I don't think Vic Schaefer has a lot of options off the bench either right now. He doesn't have his usual rotations.
A turnover for Missouri. Coming off the bench for Texas, Jordan Lee, who's now in the game, the freshman number 7 for the Longhorns. And she's joined by fellow first-year Horn, Brianna Preston, number 1.
Well, and I like this substitution right here. You get Holly out of the game, obviously, as well as Ntanda, but you're bringing 2 really defensive-minded players in with a lot of energy. Preston is a crowd favorite here at Moody Center already, just with her style of play and her defensive abilities. And we're seeing her play with Rory Harmon a little bit more as the season goes on.
Booker with a bit of a shove. Here is Lee, the talented freshman. She's made an immediate impact in her first year, already leads the Longhorns in threes, and delivers a 2 there.
As she keeps things simple out there. That's just one dribble and a pull-up. She doesn't overcomplicate it.
Ran right into a tough screen from Hannah Linthicum. Slaughter from the outside.
Yeah, that's a pretty shot. Hard to believe that Slaughter is just a sophomore. She is so poised out there on the floor.
She is number 8 in the country in three-point percentage at nearly 46%. Less than 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. Missouri nearly doubling up the Longhorns. Up 20-11. Grace Slaughter picking up where she left off in the last game after the buzzer beater then. She's got 9 here in the first quarter tonight.
Again, shooting the ball extremely well. That's the first three-pointer we've seen from Missouri, but they're 1 for 1. But overall, 9 for 13 shooting the ball. And again, you look at their turnovers, 5 turnovers as well, but it has not hurt them.
Taylor Jones headed to the free throw line, 75% shooter on the season. Makes the first. Well, Saturday on the SEC Network, we have a quadruple header of men's basketball. It all begins at 1 Eastern, featuring the last game of the day with Wade Taylor. Number 13, Texas A&M, take it on South Carolina at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Central on Saturday. 48 seconds to go. Texas nearly forced the turnover. Jordan Lee ratcheting up the defense. Top 10 recruit out of Stockton, California.
Well, the Tigers need to figure out a way to break this full court pressure that Texas puts on. And again, going over the top a couple of times might help if you have somebody that can make that pass against the full court pressure. Right now, just trying to break it with 2 guards in the front court.
Abby Schreck set to inbound. That one swatted out of bounds by Booker.
That's just something that Booker wouldn't have done last year, I don't think. She's so much more agile this season. And while she hasn't shot the ball well here early on and is a little quiet offensively, defensively, her ability to move is so much better this year.
She is all over Ashton Judd. Yeah, you can see it flying around the court defensively. Still sticking with Judd, right in her face. Physical play. And that altered the shot. Shot clock off for Texas here at the end of the first. Longhorns have shot 45% from the field. Missouri, 64%. Booker a little bit frustrated.
Well, it's in zone right here.
Jones immediately fires one off the glass of the rim. Board by Lee, bouncing around. Missouri ball, final second. And they don't get a shot off, but the Tigers looking good after one. A 20-13 lead for the visiting squad. Mizzou leading number 5 Texas.
And so they're going to have to figure out a way to guard. You know, Missouri's tough. They invert their players. They'll put bigs outside, littles on the inside, force you to guard them if you're a big on the perimeter. And they run a lot of actions.
And again, keep in mind, Texas playing without one of their usual starters, Aaliyah Moore, missing her 2nd straight game, dealing with the flu and chronic knee injuries as well. So the Longhorns a bit shorthanded as quarter number 2 gets underway. Avery Kroenke.
Let's see how far Taylor Jones has to come out and defend right here.
Jordan Lee, another big defensive play.
We were talking today about statistically, when you start looking at the nitty-gritty of statistics, how much better Texas is defensively with Jordan Lee on the floor.
That turns it over. Back the other way. Flying is Randall. A little too strong off the glass. Booker with the board. Probing the D. Out wide to Preston. Drops it into Taylor Jones, who's just about unstoppable. That low in the paint.
Well, she has learned to have patience on the interior. She's changed her shot a little, gotten it up a little higher, and has a lot more confidence this season.
Out wide, Hikafed Rape in the game. Randall with the miss. Booker with the board. Texas with a lot of speed out there. In Preston, the speedy freshman, and Rory Harmon. There is Brianna Preston. Instant energy off the bench.
Just miscommunications, though, by Texas. Great job, I thought, defensively, of transition defense by the Tigers. They're doing a much better job of getting organized. Texas is struggling to get organized defensively.
And that will send Preston to the bench when Ntanda back out on the floor for the Longhorns, trying to find the right rhythm offensively. Texas 6 for 14 from the field so far. 6 buckets, 6 turnovers for the Longhorns on the night.
Nice.
Judd over Wenentanda.
It's a beautiful play right there for Missouri. They are really forcing Texas's bigs to come out and guard on the perimeter.
Ashton Judd can light it up. She's got a couple of 20-point games this year. Rory Harmon answers for the Longhorns.
Just what we talked about coming into the second quarter, getting Harmon more involved offensively. That's just a quick hit.
Rory Harmon is past that one-year mark of when she had her ACL surgery and is actually running the mile faster than she did pre-injury.
All of her metrics are better than she was before she hurt herself last year in December. She has worked extremely hard to get back into the game.
Judd left-handed. Missouri can't miss right now.
Again, they've spread the floor really well, stayed under control.
This is against one of the better defenses in the entire nation. Harmon backs out. Circles around.
Good defense against Booker, not allowing her to get the ball easily.
There's nowhere to go right now. Shot clock at 8. Wenentanda back to Harmon, gets poked in the face, and that will draw a whistle. The foul on Lanaya Randall. Well, this is what the pregame routine looks like for Rory Harmon. It begins at 11 a.m. for an 8 p.m. tip-off, morning shoot-around. That's before the team shoot-around at 2:30, and then a little workout she gets in at 5:45 before the stretching.
And she works hard every day, lifts weights before games, does a lot of things that other players don't do, and that's why she has success, really willing to put the time in and the effort.
There she is. Lee with the board. Jordan Lee. Couple of baskets here in the first half for the freshman.
Yeah, second time that Lee has just made it simple. One shot or one dribble, pull-up jump shot.
You know, she didn't get the start tonight, but she came in early. When she has been on the floor this year, it has had a major impact, especially defensively, although Slaughter just unstoppable now. She's 5 for 5. But Lee has been a big addition.
Oh, she's been a tremendous addition. I think she is so poised as a freshman out there. Got a really great physical body, ready for the college game.
The foul on number 24, Ashton Judd, as Madison Booker had the ball. Judd, the junior out of West Plains, Missouri. And they will take a look at this. Well, no, they will just give it to Madison to try and get going. Madison Booker, the Naismith Trophy Player of the Week this week after those game-winning buckets against Tennessee and Ole Miss. Booker back out to Harmon.
Yeah, Booker just looks a little tentative out there. Yeah. That's a shot she might have taken maybe in the first quarter, but doesn't look confident to take it right now.
They look out of sorts as Kyla Oldacre, the transfer from Miami, in the game now for Texas, and a foul.
That's what momentum will do to you if Mizzou can come in. I mean, they're not going to lay down for anybody. They don't care what your ranking is or how many wins you have in conference. They are a cohesive team, the Tigers are.
Nick Schaefer was worried about the defenses Robin Pinchton would throw at him. Says it can be frustrating at times as Harmon stepped out of bounds. Another turnover for Texas. That is number 7 of the first half.
A good defensive game plan, really, for Mizzou. They're doing a nice job. Good help by Gallikalandi on that last play, who's just taken the seat on the bench with a sub coming in for her. Again, look how far the bigs are outside of the lane for Texas.
Slaughter miscommunication as Demila Brown was cutting to the basket while the defense converged on Slaughter.
Mizzou loves to throw that pass to the corner after they've penetrated into the paint. And Brown, who's been getting more playing time, just a miscommunication, as you mentioned.
Demila Brown, one of the new players on this Missouri team, grad transfer.
Got to look inside to your big girl.
Yeah, Wenentanda just barrels into Slaughter and travels. I mean, you said it, Texas just cannot find a rhythm offensively so far in the first half.
Well, and they're not talking to each other right now after something happens. That's the sign, obviously, of either being tired or not on the same page. You always want somebody out there on the team to bring the team together, to rally them in a moment like this.
Whose job is that?
Well, I think Booker's one that can really do that well. Rory Harmon obviously can.
Brianna Preston, meanwhile, getting ready to come back in the game. Constant substitutions for Vic Schaefer, trying to find the right chemistry. Shot clock at 5. Kroenke running out of time. Now it's Delilah Brown. It's blocked by Mwenentanda. The long reach of Jakalangwa. How about that on the other end? Meanwhile, the reach of Kroenke denies Rory Harmon. Wide open in the corner. Delilah Brown buries it. The senior point guard. Missouri is up by 10 over number 5 Texas with less than 5 to play in the half. Oldacre, Hassel gets it to go.
That is a place Texas should have been looking at the last couple of minutes. Oldacre has had position in the paint, but they have not found her. On the other end, though, Missouri, how about it? Some good three-point shooting and a pretty good lead here, 29-21. This is in a game Vic Schaefer has really worked on his team and has taken pride in the fact that they take care of the basketball usually, and that's not the case here early on.
You mentioned you wanted to see better communication from Texas. We'll see if that happens out of the timeout. Slaughter with the inbounds to Kroenke.
Yeah, better job of a press break right there. Bring all 4 of your players up. Don't let that center fielder be an impact player.
Physical play in the first half here. Preston got a shove, no whistle. Here is Randall working on Oldacre.
That's just the way that Mizzou wanted it. They talked about being physical today and shoot around.
Ashton Judd. Shot clock now at 4. Randall's got to hurry. Tries to get past Oldacre and 1. That's the 3rd and 1 of the first half for Missouri.
Well, Vic Schaefer needs to figure out a way to get his bigs to guard on the perimeter, but when they have to guard Randall, who's 5'11", that is just a tough ask. And so really what Mizzou's doing, they're pulling everybody out of the lane, letting their players go one-on-one, looking for the advantage they have. In that case, it was against Oldacre, who's 6'6", and just unable to stay with Randall.
Texas so used to dominating in the paint on both ends of the floor. Opposite story so far tonight. Randall completes the 3-point play, and Missouri up by 11. Again, a Missouri team coming off a dramatic buzzer beater against Mississippi State, their last contest, to pick up their first SEC win of the year.
A little bit of a 2-3 zone here for Mizzou. They've run it a couple of times, trying to just slow Texas down. Not that man hasn't slowed them down too.
Lee left all alone from the corner and makes Mizzou pay. Jordan Lee up to 7 points on 3 of 4 shooting. Ashton Judd. Booker staying right with her, fighting past the screen.
Again, a mismatch.
Delilah Brown flanks one off the rim. Preston ripping that one down. The 5'9" freshman racing down the court. Finds Mwenentanda double team, but she did draw the foul.
Did you watch Preston as she brought the ball up the floor? I love it. Cami Etheridge, who's jersey is in the rafter. Watch it. Every time the defender turns her head, she changes the hand in which she's handling the ball. That keeps the defender on her heels and not able to see the floor. And then she finds Mwenentanda. Terrific job by Preston. She's got some jets. I'm going to tell you what, when she gets going, she has got some speed.
And you finally saw some juice out of Texas for one of the first times tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, that's one of the reasons she needs to be in there. If you're coming off the bench right now for Texas, you need to bring some juice, some energy.
Mwenentanda made the first free throw. And the second.
A couple of good points right there from Mwenentanda. She had a great start to the game at Ole Miss. Gave some good minutes as a starter for the first time this season. She's got some terrific upside and size on the as a wing or 4-player for Texas.
Nia Wilson back in the game for Mizzou. Transfer from New Mexico. A miss from the outside from Schreck. Offensive board by the 5'7" point guard, Delilah Brown.
Just got to catch her to box her out. Again, mismatches all over the place for this Texas team.
But Mizzou turns it over. Mwenentanda drops it off for Booker. 8 turnovers by each team now.
Well, now Grace Slaughter is guarding Oldacre on the inside. You have to figure out a way to get her the ball at least a touch once.
Madison Booker's been held scoreless so far tonight. Big part of Mizzou's success. That stretch comes to an end. She's been averaging 22 points over her last 4 games. Here's her first basket of the night.
Well, she was held scoreless probably because of the great game planning by Randall and company that we got a chance to see firsthand. But you cannot hold a player like Booker down. And this is just an overplay right there by Judd defensively. Booker slips into the open spot. And that's her signature move right there. That mid-range game of hers is terrific.
It's a foul on Oldacre there. Texas, meanwhile, on a 7-0 run. Slaughter working on the freshman. Lee, wild shot off the glass. Lee plays tremendous defense for a freshman. Usually they say defense is the last thing to come. Not for Jordan Lee. Taylor Jones, and that is a travel on the senior.
I think sometimes as a big, it's harder to play against players that are a little smaller and quicker than you are, because normally you can lean on people, move people out of the way. Right now, Mizzou is going to potentially have a turnover here right now. Wasn't allowed to run on the baseline, but anyway, for somebody like Jones, she needs to just slow down, take her time on the interior when she catches.
Multiple times now, Missouri struggled to inbound it. There was the no-look pass to Tanda, deflected back out.
She might not have been looking, but the defense was.
Texas has pulled within 4. The final 2:10 of the half. Tanda. Jordan Lee, why not? She's been hot in the first half. A rare miss for her there.
And really great box out, really, by Mizzou. I've been impressed with their game planning today and execution. I think defensively, they've got some wrinkles they put in against Texas to kind of mix it up with them. On the out of bounds here, they have been trapping in the corners.
Ball stayed with Texas. Jordan Lee, 7 points, 4 boards coming off the bench. 9 on the shot clock. 2 fast point guards. Preston Brown, Booker barreled right into Demila Brown.
Right now, Mizzou is just switching everything. So once the screen happens or the handoff happens, you see Brown jump out. Hey, if you're going to try to take that charge, get up higher, up the lane right there, up the middle of the floor, make Booker come back the other direction. Just got there a little late.
See, Booker been frustrated at times in this half, held to 2 points. Make it 3. And Texas is a really aggressive team. I mean, they go to the free throw line nearly more than anybody in the nation. 2nd most free throws made per game. 18 per game. There's 2 more from Booker.
Part of that this season, I think, is just simply the fact that they're executing better, they're running better offense, they're better offensively as a whole, Texas is. And then their makes are just simply due to the fact that they have the right people going to the free throw line.
9-0 Longhorns run, and conversely a scoring drought of more than 2.5 minutes for Missouri. Abby Schreck drops it off. Ashton Judd off the back of the iron when Tanda reaching for that board. Booker pushing the pace, directing traffic.
Again, good transition defense by Mizzou.
Preston. Taylor Jones with the offensive board. Look at Preston amongst the trees and drawing the foul. It's like she's on a trampoline out there fighting for that one.
Yeah, just a little bit of energy, too. Texas lacked that in the first quarter. Kate is coming in now. A little offensive boards for Taylor Jones. That's where she's made a living. And look at Preston. Hey, a little push in the back maybe, but hey, you do what you got to do.
Over the last 5 minutes or so, Texas has ratcheted up the intensity. Well, we have a sensational women's quadruple header Sunday on the SEC Network featuring 5 top 15 teams. Number 2, South Carolina, 7th ranked LSU, number 12, Kentucky, facing number 13, Oklahoma. And how about The finale that day, number 5 Texas taking on the arch rivals Texas A&M from College Station. That's all on Sunday on the SEC Network.
So we have quadruple header on men for Saturday and then Sunday.
A lot of numbers, a lot of names, big games.
I'm just going to be in front of the TV or calling games, one of the
Either
two.
or, you can't go wrong on the SEC Network this weekend. Final minute of play here in the first half coming up. The scoring drought has extended to nearly 3.5 minutes. No, make it nearly 4.5 for Missouri. Schreck ends that with a 3. Her 52nd of the year, second best in the SEC.
It was a beautifully executed play right there for Schreck, but then you see what her range is, way, way beyond the three-point land.
Missouri back up by 4. Jordan Lee trying to feed Jones. Shot clock at 5. Mwenentanda cutting towards the basket, throws it off the glass, and it swirls in. 2-point game. Shot clock is off. And Missouri can hold for the final shot here in the first half. There is Nia Wilson. Booker trying to stay with her, nearly turned it over. The clock at 5. Wilson to her left. Booker and Jones in front of her, nearly turns it over, and she does. That is how the first half comes to an end. Missouri with a 2-point lead at the break. Now let's send it over to the studio with Alyssa, Steffi, and Nikki.
Thanks, guys. Texas certainly turning up the heat as we welcome you into the SEC Halftime Report. We'll talk about that game coming up in just a moment. Mentioned Michaela Blakes a couple of minutes ago. On the road in Gainesville. Pick it up in the third quarter. Michaela Blakes, tough layup, made. Doors up 53-35. More from Blakes. This time it'll be a deep 3 from the edge of the logo. She couldn't miss tonight.
That's putting it. That's underselling it.
Yeah, literally, she couldn't miss tonight. Like, seriously, at the free throw line, her final 3 free throws would help her break the SEC single game scoring record, the freshman record this season in points scored, with 53 points in Vandy's win over Florida. 50.
That's not how much the team scored. Like,
no,
right?
One person.
Oh, okay.
Remember when I said she couldn't miss? That's what I mean.
You know what? She needs some ice. You need ice.
Oh, my goodness. Let's hear from the superstar postgame.
What's sort of the mindset when you get in that role?
Just come in the game and take over. I think that's the mindset for every single game coming in here, and just doing whatever my team needs me to do, and they keep me positive when I feel like I'm missing shots. You have to have confidence in yourself. You can't never doubt yourself when you're on the court. So every time I get on the court, I'm going to have the utmost confidence in myself that I'm going to be able to make big plays and be somebody my teammates can trust me.
All right, I'm a little mad because she doesn't even seem tired, like, at all. She's just, another day at the office for me. I'm Michaela Blakes. I'm amazing, which she is. As we welcome you into the SEC Halftime Report. Steffi, Nikki, Alyssa here with you. Nikki, I mean, what she just did doesn't happen a lot.
No, it doesn't. We were talking about some of the other great players who were able to score over 50 points. I mean, Juju Watkins last year against Stanford, but the efficiency that she played at was such I mean, when you look at the field goal percentage, I mean, she shot 66% from the field. And you know what the great thing about her teammates, did you see the joy that they felt for her for scoring that many points? But the first quarter, she got off to a slow start. So
hold on, Nikki, what's slow?
Well, first quarter, she only had 4 points.
Okay, that's slow.
That's a little slow for her.
Yeah.
And then the second quarter, she comes back and she has 18 points. And then she gets, I mean, you're talking about 13 and 18 from there on. So this is a young lady that, again, her teammates found her. It wasn't just by chance. There's screens that are going to be set. There's boards that got to be had. I mean, obviously, Pierre struggled a little bit, but got 11 rebounds. But for a player like Blakes to do so as a freshman in the SEC, that's pretty impressive.
You know, she talked about witnessing Asia's 50-piece last year, right?
And they're in that zone.
I'm just wondering, are we watching somebody who's going to blaze a similar trail that Asia did at South Carolina And, you know, she's already off to such a good start. Vanderbilt hadn't been ranked in 10 years.
Yeah.
And now she's got them ranked. She's got them playing great.
And it's not like she hasn't had games like this, right? She hasn't had a 53-piece, but she's been in the 30s and the 40s consistently this year. An unbelievable night for Michaela Blakes. We'll talk more about it coming up later tonight. There was another Michaela who was like, hold on, I'm going to get in on the Michaela show as well. Oklahoma on the road at LSU.
This was a doozy.
This one had all the dramatics. Fourth quarter, Tigers up by 1. Cheyenne Wilson 3 is good. But keep your eye on Peyton Verhulst. She's going to follow it up with a 3 of her own. Sooners trail by 101-100. Under 30 seconds left to play now. Michaela Williams 3 is good.
That high ball screen action, when you pull the big away from, you pulled Beers away, she wasn't able to get there. But this LSU team fought to the end, and good job for Oklahoma for fighting back.
Yeah, Flau'jae Johnson putting it away there with that layup off the OU turnover. And how about the numbers for Michaela Williams? 37.7 rebounds, 5 assists.
I think it's the way she closed the game. Kim Mulkey went right to the hot hand, and she delivered. It was another close one. Like I said, LSU let them Oklahoma come back, but a great competitive game.
Short highlight for this halftime. We'll show you the ejections coming up later. It was a physical game in the beginning. We'll also show you part of this piece. Marty Smith sat down with Arch Manning to talk the future at Texas. Speaking of Texas, they trail by 2. Ashton Judd and her Missouri Tigers up 35-33.
Booker got going a little bit. She got to the free throw line, hit a shot. It was slow going for Texas, though, and all the credit goes to Missouri, who came out with a great game plan defensively and offensively shot the lights out in that first quarter.
Yeah, Slaughter and Randall, the story for Missouri in the first half with 21 combined points as the second half gets underway for Texas. Same starting lineup that began the game, again without Aaliyah Moore in this one for the second straight contest. Jakalenga, Wenentanda getting the start.
Yeah, real short bench for Vic Schaefer here today without Moore, also without Justice Carlton, the freshman who comes off the bench. Also, we haven't seen Felia since the beginning of the season. She's played 8 games, but she is unavailable probably for the rest of the season.
Texas coming off 2 emotional last-minute wins against Tennessee and Ole Miss. Was there a little bit of a letdown factor to begin this game?
Oh, I think probably a tiredness factor when you think about how much Texas has really been on the road. They were in New Jersey against Maryland, had to come home, play against Tennessee on a Thursday after playing on Monday, and then headed to Ole Miss on Sunday. It's just really difficult, and school is back in session, so no rest time really.
See if they carry over the momentum that we saw over the final minutes of the first half. Booker with the miss from outside.
Yeah, and that zone doing a nice job of boxing out, not giving Texas second chance opportunities.
Madison Booker 1 for 4 from the field so far. There's Lanaya Randall, who had that big first half. 10 points, got Holly up in the air, couldn't get it to fall. The rebound ripped down by Galakalandi. Jump ball possession arrow stays with Missouri.
I like that move right there. That was a terrific step through and good offensive rebound by Galakalandi. I think if you're going to beat or compete with Texas, you have to compete in the paint. You have to be able to rebound the basketball, not give them second chance, get yourself some looks on the interior. All things that Mizzou did, I thought, for quite a bit of that first half.
Missouri shot nearly 60% from the field in that first half. Slaughter driving. Flanks one off the rim. Holly pulls down the board and a foul.
Did you see the English on that pass that Judd made down there? People are like, what is English? What is English? It's a language.
Extra oomph on there.
No, it's English. It's the spin on the ball. So when you're throwing the ball up on the backboard, you can use English to get it to go in, or on a pass, you can use English to get it to go where you want it to go, change directions when it hits another object.
English.
Apparently, English is not something that's commonly used these days.
Madison Booker with the basket, her second field goal of the night. And just like that, we are tied 35. Some English on that basket.
That one was just a knockdown shot. No English.
Grace Slaughter, Lanaya Randall. Crowd starting to get into it a little bit. They've been waiting for Texas to go on a run. Again, Longhorns yet to lose in this building this year. Booker getting in the way of Randall.
Yeah, got lucky baby right there by Booker. Out of position, but Texas in transition.
Harmon, wild shot off the glass, and a foul. That is an offensive foul on Rory Harmon.
Rory just has struggled here today. Hasn't been able to get things going, really. Terrific job by Judd of just taking the charge, standing in there. This is where we've seen, I think, Texas out of sorts. When we don't normally see Rory Harmon in a situation like that, not knowing where she's going to go up off her feet.
Yeah, how have they contained her? She has just 2 points and 2 assists, 1 for 6 from the field. But that is another 5-second violation. It has been at least 3 times that has happened to Missouri.
A lot of turnovers in this game. 10 for Texas, including that offensive foul right there by Rory Harmon. And another
again,
one
Harmon
for Texas.
Turned it over, was trying to find Taylor Jones.
Yeah, 11 apiece.
Missed from the outside by Schreck. Harmon back the other way. Left a little bit too alone, but Harmon now 1 for 7 from the field. Harmon and Booker, 3 field goals combined on the night. We're still tied at 35. Gallikalandi was there. Judd over Winnentonda off the side of the backboard. Texas ball. That one stolen away. Great hustle by Judd to knock it loose. We have seen Missouri out hustling Texas at times tonight. Schreck being hassled, called for a foul, was calling for a foul. And there is a timeout by Missouri. Got a close one here in the second half, all knotted up between Mizzou and the Horns. Much more physical conference than any other conference you will find around the nation. And we've seen it. They went down to the wire with Tennessee, down to the wire in their last game against Ole Miss, and here neck and neck with Missouri.
Well, and Vic Schaefer knows what he's talking about after those years at Mississippi State. First couple ones were a little tough for him and rough. Made it to the Final Four a couple of times with Mississippi State. It's good to have him and a couple of other people on the bench that have seen the SEC.
Ashton Judd with the clock at 5. Got some room as Jones pushed out of the way. Gallikalandi with the offensive board, and the Tigers will reset.
Missouri 0 for 7 here in the second half in the third quarter.
Slaughter. She wanted a foul there, didn't get it. Looked like Winnentonda and her reach affected that one. Rory Harmon been held to 1 bucket. Shea Holly has been held scoreless. Nearly another turnover. Harmon sticks with it under the basket, kicks it out to Madison Booker.
A couple of huge shots for Booker here coming into the second half.
And Texas finally has the lead on just their second 3 of the night. Remember, the Tigers led by as many as 11, and now they turn it over, traveling on Missouri.
Points have been hard to come by for Texas. A broken play here. Just a terrific job by Rory Harmon, drawing people to the paint and then kicking out to Booker. Booker looked a little bit out of sorts, I think, in the first half. Has hit a couple of shots, a mid-range shot and a 3 here in the second half. Good to see her getting going. Look at that defense, though. Face guarded.
Jones halfway down and back out. This is the first lead of the entire night for Texas. And it comes with less than 6 to play in the third. Gallikalandi down low.
And that's the first basket for Mizzou here in the second half. They had gone cold, 0 for 8 before then. I like that look inside. Get it to Gallikalandi. Let her go to work.
Hanging right with Texas. Missouri still outscoring the Longhorns in the paint, but Booker starting to heat up.
Yeah, you talk about her being a 3-level scorer. We've seen all 3 levels now. Take it to the hoop, mid-range, and that knockdown 3 she can make.
Had the 3 moments before that one down low. Booker's up to 11. And a whistle foul on Texas.
Right now, Mizzou has gone at Mwanintanda defensively. Mwanintanda, it feels like she's been against every shooter the last 4 or 5 times down. Mwanintanda gotten a piece of like 3 shots here in the second half. Things didn't go her way on that play.
Ashton Judd heading to the free throw line, while Kyla Oldacre comes in off the bench for Texas, the transfer out of Miami. Judd makes the first. Well, Friday night, we have our gymnastics doubleheader right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Number 14, Alabama takes on the Georgia Gym Dogs, and then it's LSU hosting Missouri. From Baton Rouge, should be another thrilling night of SEC gymnastics here on the SEC Network. Texas with that narrow 2-point lead with less than 5 to play in the third. Now, Kyla Oldacre. Kyla Oldacre has brought a toughness to this team that has been undeniable. She will head to the free throw line after the bucket down low. We'll take a timeout in Austin, Texas, now up by 4 here in the third, thanks to Oldacre. After the Tigers somewhat dominated that opening quarter here in Austin.
Well, blocks don't have to be big things that, you know, blocking the ball back into the crowd or anything. That they can just be disruptive. And I think when you're playing a team like Mizzou, you always want to have a hand in the face. And Mwanintanda got some big hands and long arms.
Kyla Oldacre, 3-point play for the junior. Texas now by 5. Outscoring the Tigers 10-3 in this half. And really, you could feel the momentum change with about 5 minutes to go in the first half. Felt like there was an uptick in energy and intensity for the Longhorns. And that has not let down since. Harmon with the steal. 2 defenders in front of her. Finds a seam. Comes up short, but gets the offensive board. Remember, Rory Harmon led this team in rebounds a couple of years ago. Takes great pride in that. Booker. Harmon trying to find Oldacre, and the Tigers fouled Oldacre down low. That one on Listico.
I'll tell you what, Harmon has done a great job at both ends of the floor. You see her underneath in the paint. You see her get hit in the eye. She's been kind of rubbing her left eye here, but on the defensive end, well, offensive end for Missouri, they are doing everything they can to put the ball in the hands of whoever's not being guarded by Rory Harmon. And she was still able to disrupt it, the offense defensively, and get the steal on that last play. Missed the shot. That's what you do. If your shot's not going down, if you're not able to contribute, you make plays that are simple like that.
Great feed to a wide open Mwanintanda. And Texas trying to pull away here in the later minutes of the third quarter. Not quite yet, however. We said Missouri, one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the SEC. The Tigers back within 4.
Yeah, just a mistake right there by Holly, helping too much on Rory Harmon's player and left Slaughter open.
Missouri takes about 19 threes a game.
Wow.
That one stolen by Randall down low. Texas was looking for Oldacre. Longhorns with a lot of turnovers, 13. And all of a sudden, we're back to a 2-point game.
Mizzou does not play like a team that only has one conference win, do they? They play with a lot of heart, cohesiveness. They communicate out there, don't give up.
Again, the last top 5 team they've beaten was a Vic Schaefer-coached Mississippi State squad back in 2019.
I'm sure Vic is not salty about that at all.
No way. Holly with the miss. She is still scoreless on the night.
I think he remembers. I think he remembers how Pinchton does a terrific job of game planning against his teams.
Holly back the other way. Pump fake. And one. Shea Holly with her first points of the night.
It is getting physical and chippy out there. It has been a tough go for Shea Holly offensively, but I love how she rises up over the top of defense. She can knock that shot down, keeps her composure.
winningest player in program history. Take a look at her improvements this year. She's really the glue for this team. When she's been in the starting lineup in her career, they've won 82% of the games she started.
Yeah, exactly. She is just a winner out there and does so many of the little things. She's the glue for this Texas team. And you just saw those free throw shooting numbers. One of the reasons Texas is good this season with their free throw shooting better is because Rory Harmon and Shea Holley have improved drastically in the last couple of years.
Lanaya Randall. Lanaya Randall, right from the start of this contest, has been efficient from the field. She's up to 12. Shea Holley left all alone from the wing. Booker charging in for the board and the bucket. Madison Booker has caught fire in this quarter. She's up to 13 points, and Texas forcing a turnover.
This is why you try to go away from anywhere Rory Harmon is defensively. You see this play by Randall. Good job offensively. Again, a mismatch, having to draw Oldacre out. And then at the other end of the floor, Texas using that full court press to cause a turnover. All Rory Harmon right there.
Texas with the momentum here late in the third. Final 2 minutes and a timeout called. So the Longhorns, who trailed for most of this contest, didn't grab their first lead of the night until just a few minutes ago. Now have a 5-point lead at the break. We have a sensational women's quadruple header for you on Sunday on the SEC Network, featuring, count them, 5 top 15 teams in action beginning at noon Eastern. Starts with number 2 South Carolina taking on Auburn. How about number 7 LSU facing Mississippi State? And it's 12th ranked Kentucky set for a battle against number 13 Oklahoma. And finally, the arch rivals, the Longhorns and the Aggies from College Station.
Well, in all of these games, so important when it comes to postseason play. And you look at Charlie Cream's projections for brackets right now. Look at all those SEC teams that are projected as number 1 through number 6 seeds. And, you know, these games are so important, too, not just for NCAA play, but also for conference tournament play. I mean, you want to be in the top 4 of the SEC if you're Texas, so that you have that double bye as you go into the SEC tournament. And certainly you don't want to be in the bottom 8 of conference where you have to play from Wednesday through Sunday for a chance to maybe upset and win a tournament or give yourselves a chance.
Texas in good shape right now. Harmon with the miss. Offensive board.
Again, Shea Holley in there. Good hustle by Holley, hitting the offensive boards. See Rory Harmon looking a little frustrated out there. I mean, they're doing some good things defensively. They're making plays defensively right now. They just can't get things to go smoothly on offense.
It hasn't been much of a flow to the game for them, but still they battled to take a 5-point lead, make it a 7-point advantage thanks to Mwenentanda. She's tied her season high with 10. And another turnover. Well, Texas just taking over here in the final minutes of the third.
I think that's the key. Texas will keep the pressure on for 40 minutes. Eventually, it wears on you. It may not wear on you first, second, third quarter.
That's an offensive foul on Booker, and she is irate.
You don't see a lot of emotion from Booker usually, but she is not happy about that play, that call.
We know Vic's reaction. We already knew what it would be before the camera was on him. The jacket's still on Vic Schaefer. That's always a good sign.
He's subdued today. I don't think he's feeling at his best today. Maybe a little under the weather, but a little quieter than usual.
Yeah, again, Texas battling the flu bug. 3 players out tonight due to the flu. But despite being shorthanded, the Longhorns with a 7-point advantage. The final 35 seconds of the third. And drop down low. Brown with a wild shot. Booker double team. Just racing through the defense. Goes to the floor for it. Jump ball. It'll stay with Texas. Booker banged her head on the floor a bit. Helped back up to her feet.
Yeah, I think Booker just overextended herself here, got out over her skis, trying to make plays. There's a couple of players all over her, and I don't think she banged her head. I think she was just tapping her head saying, hey, I got to play smarter. I got to do better.
On the night, Madison Booker 13 points, almost all of those points coming in this quarter to go with 4 rebounds. About a 3-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Booker, a rare miss for her. Final 8 seconds of the quarter for Missouri. They will hold for the final shot. That one deflected. Texas ball. Booker heaves one down the floor. But Texas outscores Missouri by 9 here in the third. And they will take a 7-point advantage into the fourth quarter as Vic Schaefer talks things over with his star. Soft top that.
Wait, that is way cute.
Fourth quarter about to get underway here from the Moody Center. Texas hasn't lost here in a year and in good shape to begin the final quarter, up by 7. Leading scorers Booker with 13 for Texas. Grace Slaughter with 14 to lead the way for the Tigers.
Well, the Tigers need to figure out a way to manage Texas's press when they're in this fourth quarter. Too many turnovers in that third quarter. Missed a lot of shots as well offensively. They got some looks.
Every game has been a battle for Texas. Slaughter with the offensive board. Oldacre, however, comes up with it. No rest for the weary. Turned over by Oldacre. Texas will head to College Station after this to take on their arch rivals. Of course, in a game like that, you throw all the records and the stats out the window.
Yeah, so much fun to have that rivalry renewed now that Texas is in the same conference as Texas A&M.
Gary Blair should be there, Vic Schaefer's former head coach and mentor. Should be a heck of a matchup, but Texas just trying to survive this one. Driving and dishing, Lania Randall. Booker just right in front of her, knocked over. Play continues, and Randall ends up with the bucket.
I actually like it when Mizzou gets a little bit later in the shot clock, makes Texas guard for 30 seconds and then goes one-on-one with the mismatch.
Nia Randall, fresh off a 14-point performance in the win over Mississippi State, has dropped 14 on Texas tonight. Missouri continues to fight. Harmon, shot clock at 7. Wenentanda with a miss, batted out of bounds. Missouri ball.
Yeah, it's a really nice job by Missouri. I was watching them defensively in this zone. They are keyed in on Madison Booker. And I'll tell you what, this is the shot that they want Texas to take, as we see the job of Randall taking the ball inside. We talked about them using shot clock and having the ability to score late in the shot clock.
The Tigers with a chance to pull within one basket with less than 8.5 to go in the contest. Judd looking for some room. And Booker a little too handsy.
Which is saying something in today's game, because I feel like hands have been all over the place today. It has been a physical game. The officials have allowed them to play for the most part, both teams, but a lot of hand checking.
Well, she immediately looked up at the official after that. So a sign of guilt, and was called for it.
Is that the official sign of guilt?
Wilson manages to get it into Judd. Pass to Judd. Double team goes right around Jones and Booker. Couldn't get the bucket to fall. Wenentanda. And here is Rory Harmon.
Jones working extremely hard to post up. Good job by Taylor Jones. Again, guarded by a smaller player in Slaughter, who is really a perimeter player, coming in off the bench, a little maybe rested and able to give some more effort and energy. That is something Texas needs to look for, is that inside game and their inside-out game.
There's a game plan for Missouri defensively. Limit Taylor Jones, the reigning SEC Player of the Week. They've held her to 11 points and 4 rebounds.
Yeah, they know who they want to shoot the ball. If you're a Missouri player, there are specific players that, okay, you can leave them open from 15 to 17 feet, or you can allow them to get easy catches. Booker is not one of them that they want to get easy looks to, and Taylor Jones on the inside. You have to be physical with her and limit her.
Shot clock again, dips under 10. Look at the triple team converge on Jones. Somehow able to get it to Madison Booker and gets it to fall. Great effort by Jones on the floor to stick with it. Back the other way, however, it's Lanaya Randall beating the Texas defense down the floor. Madison Booker over to Wenentanda. Still a 5-point game. Shea Holly with a big bucket for Texas with just over 7 to go. Missouri has shot nearly 50% on the night against one of the best defenses in the nation. And again, they get it to fall back within 5.
Again,
Ashton Judd.
Yeah, Judd, she's so tough with her 3 that you have to respect that and pressure her. Able to put the ball on the floor.
Wenentanda driving, a little too strong. Offensive foul on Wenentanda.
Oh, this is just a smart play at the other end of the floor. Talk about Judd with the ball in her hands. A little ghost screen right there. Almost a dribble drive action and no help. Wenentanda gets beat, but that's an acrobatic shot by Judd, taking the ball to the hoop. And here's that situation we talked about. Mizzou has to be better about getting the ball in.
The 7th turnover for the junior Wenentanda. And the starter in place of Aaliyah Moore. Here's Avery Kroenke. Grace Slaughter. The clutch junior. That one rolls over and out. Galakalandi. Possession arrow, Texas. It's a big call right there as this back and forth game still stuck at a 5-point contest, but now Texas will have a chance to extend the lead. Rory Harmon has been held to 1 for 9 from the field, but does have 6 assists. Dropping it down low to Jones and a foul. Great pass from Harmon finding her.
That wasn't bad defense after Jones caught the ball. I'm not sure. We're going to see it again about the foul right here. Just didn't play defense early enough on Jones. If she gets catches that low, she's going to do something good. You just don't have a chance to double or triple team her at that point.
Texas 10 for 12 from the line. Again, one of the best free throw shooting teams in the country this year. Jones makes the first. Saturday on the SEC Network, we have a quadruple header of men's basketball beginning at 1 Eastern, featuring the last game of the day with Wade Taylor for Texas A&M. Take it on South Carolina at 8:30 Eastern. How about a couple of big free throws from Taylor Jones, but back the other way. Second time in the last few minutes, Lanaya Randall has beat Texas down the floor.
Well, right now, Mizzou has a 5-guard lineup, so tough matchups for Texas. Galakalandi went to the bench.
The energy from Missouri, refusing to fold, bobbled by Booker. Jordan Lee, the freshman, over to Holly, has a good look, takes it. Booker falling to the floor, somehow came up with the offensive board. But Missouri will take over the possession, and it's still a 5-point game. The effort was there from Booker.
Well, it almost looked like she was being held, but I think she just lost her balance right there. Good hustle by both teams. It's that out-of-bounds situation again, and another turnover. That is 17 turnovers on the day for Mizzou.
Taylor Jones down low, and it's a 7-point game. That's Jones' first points of this half. 15 on the night. Now Texas with a little bit more breathing room with 5.5 to go. Just under 5.5.
Be in a wide open lane. Check out the defense. Mizzou bringing Texas defenders way out.
Nice feed to a cutting Ashton Judd.
Yeah, leaves that room for the back door.
Back to 5.
Let's see what Mizzou does in this 2-3 zone this time. Taylor Jones got that easy layup last time.
Harmon again goes to Texas's bread and butter, Taylor Jones. Longhorns nearly got another steal. Taylor Jones has 17 points now.
That has become a normal for her, I think. Her ability to score on the inside. A big part of why Texas is better offensively this season overall.
Crowd has come alive here late at the Moody Center, where Texas is 42-5 all time. Shot clock at 5. Missouri in trouble. Judd got to hurry. Booker right in her face. Heaves one up. And a shot clock violation forced by this Texas defense. We'll take a timeout in Austin. Texas has extended their lead to 7. Kyla Oldacre as well. Can Taylor Jones stay healthy? It's been a problem throughout her career. But this stretch over the last month when she's been healthy, she has been dominant at times.
And I don't even think it's a matter of can she stay healthy. It's the fact that she is healthy. Like for the first time probably in her career, her ability to get up and down the floor, play extended minutes, be effective, and play free. I think mentally she's in a place where she hasn't been maybe in her career.
Averaging a double-double over the last 3 games. Has 17 points tonight. Madison Booker with the miss. And the rebound ripped down by Avery Kroenke.
Tigers have to figure out a way to score here. They have not shot the ball well in the second half.
Lanaya Randall rejected by who else? Taylor Jones. Jones now with the block in 14 straight games. Booker on the other end rolls around and out. Loose ball and a whistle on Texas.
Well, it's one of the things about Texas is they've got some bigs on the inside, and if you don't spread them out too much and they're able to play defense and be an impact on the interior, that's what they can do. I think Missouri's done a great job today of pulling the post players away from the basket, so they haven't been able to be as impactful as usual throughout the 40 minutes of the game. Not that time.
Well, time becoming a major factor for Missouri. Just over 3 minutes to play, down by 7. They have fought the number 5 team in the nation extremely hard tonight here in Austin.
Backdoor.
Finds Slaughter, but that one a little bit wide. Has to regroup and drops it in. Grace Slaughter up to 16 points, back to a 5-point game. Jordan Lee out by the wing. Texas working it around to Lori Harmon. Harmon makes the bucket. Physical play. Could have been called for the foul too. Is that back to a 7-point game? Randall right into Jordan Lee. No, pulls down the board. Jones reaches for it. And how about the bucket by Lanaya Randall? She is up to 20 points on the night.
Yeah, how about the play overall throughout the whole game by Lanaya Randall?
Shea Holly answers for Texas. She is arguably their most clutch three-point shooter. And Holly comes up big. Less than 2 to play. And a whistle. That one looks like it will be on Madison Booker.
In games like this, I think if you are Texas, you just have to stick with it. It has been a rough night for quite a few players for Texas. You see Shea Holly, who hasn't necessarily shot the ball well, hit a huge 3 right there. But I think that's a sign of a great team, is just sticking with it till the end, making 1 or 2 extra plays that they need to make, even though things aren't going well.
We've seen a number of 5-second violations called on Missouri. Almost had another. 1:45 to go. Slaughter has to fight just to get to the ball. Booker in her face. That one not close. And Texas can take a little more time off the clock. The lob down low perfectly to Jones. Randall got in there.
Randall is
was
so
knocked
good.
out of bounds.
Yeah, you know what? Defensively, textbook right there. 5'11" against 6'5" on the inside. The ball goes. She takes a step backwards and just jumps with the pass.
Last play is under official review.
And they will take a look at that last play to see who exactly went out of bounds off of.
Yeah, you want to make sure you get the ball to the right team, the correct team at a time like this in the game.
We talked about the games Texas is just coming off of.
The call of the
narrow
floor
win.
is Texas ball. The play is under review.
Or the call there is we will look at this one to see exactly who went out of bounds off of. Texas, we talked about all the narrow wins recently over Tennessee and Ole Miss. Another close one here in Austin. Randall reaching for it. Did she touch it? Well, obviously there.
Absolutely, she touched it. You see the change of direction of the ball when, I mean, at first it looks like Jones maybe might have touched it, but Nia Randall right there and just trying to save the basketball. Got her fingertips on it. This has become commonplace, though, right, in basketball, I think, today, of the last couple of minutes of games, making sure calls are made that are correct. Easy for us to call it over here, right?
Better to be safe than sorry, as it is a 7-point Texas lead with 1:24 to go. And the Longhorns didn't get their first lead of the entire game until the second half. So we talked about the games they are recently coming off of. What about what's up next for Texas? They're going to be in College Station. Then how about within a week, February 9th through the 16th, they play South Carolina and LSU here in Austin.
Yeah, and don't overlook Texas A&M and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is really good. They've got some terrific young players. They will be here on Thursday, February 6th. Texas A&M on Sunday. Again, another kind of one of those trap games that looks like on paper that you should win, but it's a rivalry game, and Texas A&M does a terrific job of controlling tempo.
After review, the call on the floor has been confirmed. Texas ball.
There you go. Texas gets the ball after it went out of bounds off of Randall. You talk about the A&M game coming up. They suffered a huge loss recently. They lost their leading scorer, Coulibaly, for this season.
Yeah, that's a rough loss for them. She is such an important part of their offense. I mean, already an offense that lost so much to the transfer portal in the offseason. She is their main stay, I think, from the perimeter or on the inside, and that is just a big loss for A&M.
All right, ready to resume play.
Free timeout for Mizzou. A lot of time to talk about things.
Final 85 seconds coming up.
Texas ball is
And a timeout called by Vic Schaefer coming out of that review.
Yeah, Vic Schaefer just didn't like the way that looked, obviously. Had a lot of time to talk about what they were going to run on that baseline out of bounds, but it took too much time to get the ball inbounds. Right now, if you're Texas, you just want to take care of the basketball. Use some clock. You got 15 on the shot clock.
Well, don't forget, by the way, we're talking about all this basketball. Don't forget about gymnastics on Friday night. We've got a doubleheader for you on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. This guy will be watching. Number 14, Alabama takes on the 12th-ranked Georgia Gym Dogs at 7 Eastern. And then it's 3rd-ranked LSU facing number 9 Missouri. Should be another fantastic night of SEC gymnastics again Friday on the SEC Network. Out of the Texas timeout, Harmon finding Madison Booker. Shot clock under 10. Back to Jones, goes Texas. Blocked there, Missouri fighting for it. Holly came up with it. That's a shot clock violation, however.
Start to finish, I've been impressed with Mizzou's ability to battle on inside. I mean, they haven't given an inch. They've made their mistakes. They've struggled against this Texas defense at times, but it has not been for lack of effort.
It's been a tight 4th quarter. Texas outscoring Missouri by just 1. As both teams
Well, this is a great advantage.
diagram the situation, and we'll have another timeout.
Well, it's an official review again, but what's good about this for Missouri?
The play is under review to determine if there was a clock malfunction.
Yeah, the thing about this for Missouri as they review to see if there's a clock malfunction is you're getting free timeouts. So Mizzou only has 1 timeout left. In this situation, you've had 2 free timeouts now to talk about things.
So remember, it was supposedly a shot clock violation. Didn't touch the rim.
Well, touch the backboard right there. And then what you're looking for is the light on the backboard. That was just, it looked pretty clear from our point of view. Yeah,
So it touches the backboard, but obviously not the rim.
After
the shot
review,
clock.
there was no clock malfunction on the play. Missouri ball.
So there you go.
There you
The
go.
call stands as it originally was called. Missouri ball, 1:08 to go, down by 7. The Robin Pinkston squad, again, coming off their first SEC win of the season. In the contest before this, a dramatic buzzer beater by Grace Slaughter, hoping for some more late game heroics and what would be a miraculous rally here over the final 68 seconds.
Got to get a quick look if you're Mizzou. Get the ball down the floor.
Abby Schreck to inbound. Here's Avery Kroenke with Harmon in front of her. Lanaya Randall, she's had the hot hand all night. Taylor Jones in front of her.
A great job scouting right there. No easy look.
Over Jones, buries it. She's got 22.
Come on. Randall has been exceptional today.
6-point game is Texas taking the clock down to 45 seconds.
You've got a foul right here. You got to go try to go get the basketball.
No foul yet, and finally, with just over 40 seconds remaining in the contest, the foul committed by Avery Kroenke.
It's only the third foul right now for Mizzou. Need to foul again quickly. And this is all if you want to get back into the game. Obviously, if you're going to give up right now, you don't foul. But what you want to do is extend this game as much as possible. Stop the clock, put Texas at the free throw line, and hope for them to miss some free throws.
And that was the 4th personal on Kroenke.
And everybody on this Texas team shoots above 70% who's out there right now. So anybody, you probably don't want to shoot foul Booker. She shoots about 85% from the free throw line. Everybody else is about a 70 to 75% free throw shooter for Texas.
This is one of the best free throw shooting teams Texas has had in a long time. The freshman Lee will inbound. Having trouble, finds Rory Harmon, and there is another foul on Harmon.
How about Vic Schaefer having the confidence in a freshman to take the ball out of bounds in a situation like that?
They have relied on her heavily so far this season. Jordan Lee, the top 10 recruit. So Rory Harmon will head to the line, a 76% free throw shooter. Vic Schaefer can't bear to watch.
It's just been a long week, I think. Long month for Texas. We talked early in January about the tough schedule they had coming up in January. Tomorrow will be the last day of January. After this game, it will be the halfway point in conference play. I think you're just trying to get out of this one alive.
Texas 14 of 16 from the line tonight. Yeah, this is the point in the season where Vic Schaefer traditionally starts to sleep at the arena every night, poring over film and game plans as it turns to February.
Yeah, Texas being more conservative defensively to not give up anything easy to Mizzou.
Nia Wilson kicks it out to Schreck. Texas takes over.
Texas has been all over Schreck today.
Just 4 3-pointers made by Missouri, one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the SEC. Texas will look to go to 7-1 in conference play and 11-0 at home. Booker turns it over. Wilson, oh, golden opportunity. Couldn't take advantage. Booker has it, and she's fouled.
It's kind of how this game has gone, isn't it? It's not been pretty.
Could have been a 6-point game. I think Wilson was surprised. That one was thrown right in her lap.
Again, just Booker being too casual with that slow bounce pass. Didn't even see the defense, really. And it's just a bit of a scrum on the floor. Again,
The other end.
Gosh, go ahead, Booker. I was just going to talk about her free throw shooting.
See, you jinxed it.
Yeah, I did not. I do not believe in that. Booker just seems a little out of sorts today. She's had a couple of moments where she's been in rhythm, hit some shots, but overall, we have seen games where she has been on the entire game. A little out of sorts.
After that one, 9 points and 4 rebounds for the Naismith Player of the Week, Madison Booker.
Texas going with a bit of a smaller lineup so they can switch everything defensively.
Final 15 seconds on the way here in a 9-point game. A hard-fought SEC battle between the Longhorns and the Tigers. Judd from outside with the miss. And a foul here in the waning moments of this contest. That'll be on Wenentanda. But Texas will improve to 21-2 on the year. Again, their best start in nearly a decade. And a timeout called by Missouri with 5 seconds to go.
The fans not happy right now, but as a coach,
Madison Booker, who came into this game red hot, seemed frustrated at times. Rory Harmon just 2 for 10 from the field, and without, by the way, starter Aaliyah Moore. Despite all that, they're on the verge of picking up victory number 21.
Yeah, but they've done other things. Harmon with 9 assists today. I mean, you do what you can when you're tired like this, coming up against a team who's incredibly motivated and playing hard.
And that'll do it. This one is officially in the books. Texas with a 70-61 win over the Tigers.
Yeah, hats off to the Tigers for playing so hard today. And Texas just doing enough here in the second half and having a couple of runs gets the win.
For Andrea Lloyd, I'm Alex Lowe. Thanks so much for watching. That'll do it here from the